Hey, welcome back to the SBP Podcast Mobile Filmmaking. I'm your host, Susie Botello, and you're listening to episode 210. Well, we are to be continued. Oh, no, wait. This is the to be continued episode. This is part 2 of the episode that we recorded last week with Miguel Lopez de Leon. He is a novelist, a filmmaker, a performer, an actor, a magician. Yes, he's a magician just like you because he makes movies. So speaking of magic, the reason why this is separated into 2 parts, let me just share that with you really quick. The first part of the episode was really more all about Miguel and where he came from and how he arrived as a filmmaker, as a mobile filmmaker. We talked about him and his film Ghost Leave, how he made that film. We talked about a feature film also shot with a phone and how he's making another one and he wants you to get involved with that. So all of that was part of part 1. And now here we are, and we're going to listen to part 2. What happened was he started asking me questions as well. And so we started talking about, of course, we were talking about the film festival, but mainly we started talking about things that are on your mind today, sort of the types of topics that we usually discuss here on the podcast with our Fade into Film program, which is the program that's supposed to be here today. But because of this whole part 2 incident, we're going to do this very special thing, but we're still going to be talking about pretty much the same types of topics that you're probably talking about with your friends and your filmmaking colleagues there, partners and families. So I do wish you the very best and most constructive, productive, creative, and prosperous and successful, however you define success, 2025 that there could ever be. I hope to meet you here in San Diego, much to the pleasure of knowing you and possibly even having you as a guest on the podcast. Who knows? Mobile filmmaking is getting big. And actually, Miguel and myself, we're really going to take off right now from that point of the conversation when Miguel acknowledges what's happening with the mobile film industry at this moment.
I mean, it's a really exciting time, I think, because is it the director of 28
years later
shot the whole the sequel to 28 Days or whatever, the continuing movie with an iPhone 15?
Well, with a bunch of them.
With a bunch of iPhone 15s.
Yeah, the Pros, the Pro Max, yeah.
The Pros, yeah. So, I mean, that's amazing. That's a major film with major actors and everything's major. The director, the actors, the studio, everything. And it's shot with a phone.
With a phone.
With several, with lots of phones. And
the thing is too, when I first started the film festival, people would contact me and say, well, what about the editing? Can I do I have to do that on the phone too? And what can I use? Can I use a tripod? I even had people ask me if they could use a tripod. And I was like, wow, listen, guys, you can use whatever you want to. You can edit however you want to. You don't even have to record the audio on your phone. I just want you to use the phone for the video, to capture the video, your footage. And they were like, oh. And some people use like crane shots and dolly shots with like traditional filmmaking, especially before the gear was out, so.
Oh, my first short film, I was using a ladder that I had. And I would put like an upside down trash can. I mean, I just used what I had just so the phone could lean against something.
Very cool.
I have a tripod now.
You have a tripod? You've upgraded?
Yeah, I've upgraded. But like in the beginning, I was just, you use whatever you have.
Yeah.
But I think it's so great because you at least you attempt it.
Yes.
You know, and then you never know what's going to happen from it. So it must be, how do you, like, what does it feel like for you, Susie, to, like you said, to see all these people that you see their films, you meet them at your film festival, you get to know them a little bit, and then you follow their work, and then their success, whether it be as a filmmaker, an actor, director, a screenwriter. Like you said, you were watching that movie on Netflix, and you realized, you knew the screenwriter. Like, that must be, I would imagine, very fulfilling and exciting. Like, what does that feel like?
It's very inspiring. It's very inspiring for me, to go back to a day where nobody even talked about this.
Right.
Like, it wasn't even, like, I remember when Facebook started saying video. My film festival was already out. Mm-hmm. And then the platforms were all starting to realize that video was where they wanted their algorithms to go. Mm-hmm. And so Facebook started working on creating video. And I was like, perfect. Because it was the thing I was saying, one of the things that I would tell people to talk them into this was that if you're filming with a traditional camera, it's not very, to put it on social media, especially back then in 2011, it wasn't that easy to take the footage from your DSLR or whatever and just upload it to video on a social media platform.
Right.
One of the problems was the size mm-hmm. of that footage. But when you shoot it with a phone, it automatically it's very seamless mm-hmm. for online showing. And back when I was thinking about this before I launched it and everything, at around 2005 or something with YouTube, I was thinking, well, when the phones have these wonderful video cameras that you can use, when that gets better, people will be able to seamlessly just upload their films into YouTube to put on their website or to share with people or whatever. And it's going to be so easy. Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of people were not aware of how fast this was going to happen.
Right.
But it's not happening fast enough for us because we've been in it for so long. Mm-hmm. And we envision what it's going to be like in the future, and there's more to come. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But we're so already there. It's just a matter of people acknowledging it. And the film industry right now is not acknowledging it really because of change.
Yeah.
But if you take a business model and you say, all right, how do we profit? One way to profit is to lower your expenses.
Can I ask, because it just popped, what you just said, something came to mind. Do you think that the prevalence and the rise of AI will affect that?
I have no idea.
Just in terms of me neither. And I wonder if AI will help smartphone filmmakers because of the ease, I guess, now at which you can do. I mean, I don't know. I've never used, to my knowledge, I've never used AI.
Well, there's like, I do graphics, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's always little things that you can do through automation. Mm-hmm. But that is taking things that you do manually, grouping them together, and now creating that as an effect. Mm-hmm. So those little things are automated, right?
Yeah.
That's not the same thing as AI.
Okay.
Because AI is taking things, it's learning from all these other artworks and art pieces and art projects and things like that. And then it's using that knowledge to creating something new from that knowledge. Mm-hmm. In the platform that you're in, using whatever you're giving it. Mm-hmm. So it's a little different to create and generate something than it is to automate something that's already been created.
Oh, okay.
So for me, I would say from my studies in communications and film and things like that, storytelling, anthropology, right? Storytelling is a very human function that only humans have. And we have emotions, memories, and these connections that happen through storytelling. And I think that things can be trendy, but nothing's ever going to replace genuine, real stories and real connections from human to human. Mm-hmm. And that's just me. Now, being able to recognize it because you're not seeing the human to human thing. Now, if all the artists and all the filmmakers out there decided to stop creating art and generating it, instead using AI or something like that, then everything's going to look the same.
Right. Because it's not a new creation. It's based on
everybody else's creations. Right. And then it's going to be learning off of its own creations, which are a mess of their own creations.
Like a hodgepodge, yeah.
Yeah, it's like saying now we're going to use the trash to clean the rest of the house or something. I don't know.
No,
it's just like...
That's a good analogy, yeah.
I'm not sure that was a very good analogy.
I got it.
Yeah.
I'm there with you. See, I get it. All right. I think it was.
So, I mean, I have, as you already know, we don't allow AI in our film festival. And who knows how long that'll last and how long the trend will last. But what I'm trying to do with the film festival and what I've done since the beginning is create a very equal platform to compete with, so that all of you guys understand that every film that's shot with a phone, every film that's in this festival competing with yours is shot with a phone.
Right.
And it's made by a human being.
Right. Yeah.
And to me, that's important to just keep that, as much as I'd like to keep innovating and introducing new things and things like that. But I think we just need to get better at making films and sharing our stories. Mm-hmm. If you're making films and your stories are not really resonating with the people that are watching them, then you just need to keep making films to find out what it is that you can do to make your stories better. Mm-hmm. I don't think AI is going to fix that issue for anybody.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well said. That makes sense. Yeah.
Well, Miguel, I want to share with everybody, what is it? Where do they follow you? So you have Miguel.
Well, my main website for my films is Miguel de Leon, DELEON, art.com. Okay. So MiguelDeLeonArt.com.
And then you also have your Instagram.
I have my Instagram, which is Miguel Lopez. My professional name is Miguel Lopez de Leon. Mm-hmm. On Instagram, it's Miguel Lopez de Leon and then the number 1.
Right, because there's another one, right?
Yes, and there's actually a very popular Venezuelan actor, I believe it's Venezuelan, called Miguel de Leon. So I had to add my middle name, Lopez, to everywhere because people were even buying the books thinking he wrote them. And then I'd get emails like, you're not that Venezuelan actor. I'm like, nope, that's not me.
It's more like, no, he's not me.
Oh, I should have said that.
That's cool.
But yeah, everything's on the website, trailers, even if something's in pre-production, old work. Yeah. And it has links to social media and IMDb and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's all there.
It's all there.
And you can see, and it also has a link to your author's website where you can see all your books and.
Oh yeah, if you like fantasy books.
Yeah,
there's a bunch.
I think a lot of people do. Everybody needs an escape.
I do.
Yes, we do. What did we leave out that we should have mentioned?
I mean, no, we it's pretty thorough. I don't think we missed out anything. Oh well, I'm working on a second feature.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm putting together a cast and crew. So if anyone's interested,
get in touch.
Yeah, DM me on social media or let me know. It's gonna be shot with a phone? Yeah, I think so. But what's definitely going to happen is it's not just going to be a one-man show anymore. Like it's a lot, but I do want. I think there's a benefit to have done it, to learn, but I also think there's a benefit, especially from the performance point of view, to have at least a co-director and a crew, and maybe the person, the cinematographer, so that especially if you're in front of the camera, so you're not. You don't have half your energy isn't going to other things. You could sort of commit all of it to your work in front of the camera, which is what I would like to do. So I
agree.
Looking for a co-director, producers, putting a little team together. So it's exciting.
And what kind of genre is it?
It keeps changing. I've been talking to some screenwriters, and I'm trying to do the what I said, which is use the resources you have. So I sort of it keeps changing, but I'm hoping for maybe a thriller.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think it's a genre that lends itself to not easier, but sort of not as challenging in terms of performance or in terms of shooting, and the audience for thrillers. There's a formula.
Yeah.
So even with the music, people kind of know what to expect. It's jolts and thrills and all that. So maybe thriller.
Cool.
It's exciting. Yeah, I'm excited to put together a little team.
Well, we'll have to have you back and see how you're progressing with that. When do you plan to bring it into production?
I was actually planning to start production the beginning of this or mid-November of this year. But some things fell through, which is why I then decided to make the 4 additional short films.
Yeah.
But hopefully right after the holidays, we'll get right back to work.
Okay. So let's say around January something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm ready.
So you're looking for, what was it again? A co-director?
Well, basically everyone.
Everyone. Okay.
The thing I never thought I'd be making anything, much less a feature, any of the short films by myself. But it's kind of challenging to get people, a group of people all on the same schedule. Like everyone is, somebody's available in 5 months or someone's available in 11 months. And it's sort of like, oh gosh, I don't want to wait 11 months. So I said, I'll just try to do it myself. But I do want to put together a team, because I think, there's only so much one person can do. And I think especially for a feature, it will help the quality of the feature. But yeah, everything, cast, crew. I have a loose sort of team put together, but we're open to to working and collaborating. And if not, Susie, I will be telling you that I made a second feature by myself again. Because this is going to get done no matter what.
I imagine that you're going to do a great job at this. Yeah, but it's a great idea, I think, though, for you. I literally was going to ask you that, and I missed it. And I'm glad you brought it up. If you were going to now take everything that you've learned and start building a crew so you can start making these films together.
Yeah. I'd like to.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And I think, again, I'm very big on this community thing for filmmakers, because I think, and artists, quite honestly, in general, because I think I do see that there's competition. And I think this is the one industry where you don't need to compete. It is art. You don't need to compete with art. You need to instead encourage each other, support each other, inspire each other, and help each other rise, because art is one of the most important things in this world, that we live in. And humanity is very connected to it. So anyways,
I agree. For sure.
I can't thank Miguel enough. Miguel Lopez de Leon. Make sure you contact him and get with him and take advantage of this opportunity to go work on a feature film shot with a phone.
Yeah, I've actually talked to some people that I met at your festival, Susie, already to collaborate. Yeah.
Very good. Don't forget to hit up Jason Rivera from our. I'm sure you remember him from. He wasn't in the festival. He couldn't make it, unfortunately. But he was in our podcast, Fading to Film panel guys. But he's very good for making music. Also for your films, very well too.
So important, the music.
Yes, and he works with you throughout the filmmaking process, not just at the end when you need the music.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so I'll connect you.
Oh, fantastic!
I'm sitting here going, this is being recorded.
I know.
Oh, what the heck? Oh, whatever. I'll connect you. Okay. I'll do what I do. You all should know that I do these things.
Yes, please. Thank you, Susie.
All right. Hey, we didn't record this knowing, hey, it's going to be so long, such a long conversation. It's going to split into 2 different sections in a way that we can save this as part 2. Yeah, we really did not plan on doing that. So there is no goodbye listeners, from Miguel or anything like that. But there's something I still want to say. Happy New Year's, guys. Celebrate big, stay safe, and we'll see you next year.